One
Okay,
question
okay,
before you
okay.
head out. So my last question is, if you have somebody coming over your house, like whether it's like McCartney, somebody big coming
Okay.
over, what are you cooking for them? McCartney comes in, what are you
Okay.
cooking?
First thing I'm saying to
Well,
them
he's
is
he's vegan, but go ahead.
before they come over, I'm saying, what's your favorite thing to eat? Okay? And then I'm doing it.
You pre-interview
I
them
always do.
before they
When
come.
I was like even still like I called Selena the other day. She was like we were trying to figure we were having some date nights and sometimes like we'll go out but sometimes we'll stay in and I make a list anytime she eats something great. She tells me and I make a whole list and then I have that list to look at when I have to cook for her.
Bro,
Like the other day she was like, I had the best bronzino. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna make you and then I
The
teach her like
kitchen was humming with a nervous energy that Benny Blanco hadn't felt since the first time he played a new song for a room full of strangers. Tonight, though, the audience was just one. Selena Gomez, his wife, the superstar whose smile could melt his composure faster than any stadium crowd ever had. Benny stood at the counter, knife in hand, cilantro scattered like confetti across the cutting board. Across from him, Selena scrolled through her phone, a soft smile betraying her anticipation. Tonight, Benny was about to attempt the impossible, making her the perfect Mexican pizza. Why Mexican pizza? Why not just order in, as they sometimes did after a long day of back-to-back meetings, recording sessions, or press runs? The answer was layered, just like the dish he was about to create. For Benny, cooking for Selena was an act of love, a way of speaking without words. For Selena, it was a taste of home, a connection to her Mexican heritage in a world that often felt far from the warmth and chaos of her family's kitchen. But the real reason was simpler, more universal. Food, like music, had the power to bring people together, to turn an ordinary night into a story worth telling. For Benny and Selena, cooking together had become their quiet ritual, a way to slow down and reconnect. In a life lived under the scrutiny of cameras and headlines, the kitchen was their sanctuary. Here, there were no managers, no assistants, no fans, just the two of them, the sizzle of onions in a pan and the promise of something delicious. Selena's favorite meals, Benny had learned, were simple but soulful. She loved steak, especially when paired with crispy fried potatoes, the kind Benny had perfected after many trial runs and a few near disasters. She adored pasta, particularly a green-hued version loaded with fresh herbs. But there was something about the idea of a Mexican pizza that felt just right, comforting, nostalgic, and just a little bit daring. So Benny set out to make it, not just as a meal, but as a love letter, one with layers of meaning, memory, and flavor. Benny approached the task the way he approached music, with curiosity and respect. He pored over recipes, watched late-night YouTube tutorials, and even called Selena's grandmother to ask for advice. He wanted to get it right, not just the technique, but the heart behind the dish. It wasn't just about the food. It was about the memories Selena carried with her, the scent of cumin in the air, the sound of laughter around a crowded table, the taste of salsa that was always a little spicier than expected. Benny wanted to honor that, to create something that would make her feel seen and loved. The kitchen was alive with sound, music playing softly in the background, onions sizzling on the stove, Benny's own gentle humming as he worked. He started with the base. 2 flour tortillas, brushed with olive oil and toasted until crisp, their edges just beginning to turn golden. This was a canvas. Next came the refried beans, creamy and rich, seasoned with garlic and a pinch of cumin. On top of that, he scattered ground beef sautéed with onions and a whisper of chili powder, the aroma filling the air with anticipation. Cheese was next, a generous mixture of sharp cheddar and Monterey Jack, melting into every crevice. Benny hesitated over the salsa, considering his options. He finally chose a smoky chipotle sauce, spooning it carefully over the cheese before adding scattered diced tomatoes, sliced black olives, and a handful of jalapenos for heat. Into the oven it went, the kitchen growing warm and fragrant as the layers melded together. While the pizza baked, Benny prepared the finishing touches. A swirl of cool sour cream, a dollop of guacamole, a sprinkle of freshly chopped cilantro. He worked with the care of someone writing a song for the first time, each detail deliberate and full of meaning. Selena watched from across the room, her eyes bright with amusement and affection. She'd seen Benny take risks in the studio, but this, watch him fuss over a dish that meant so much to her, felt even more intimate. When the pizza emerged from the oven, Benny sliced it into wedges and served it with flourish. Selena took a bite, her eyes widening as the flavors hit her palate. Spicy, savory, tangy, comforting. She grinned, and Benny felt a wave of relief and pride. "It's perfect," she said. "But more than that, it's us." They ate together at the kitchen island, the world outside fading away. They laughed over old stories, Benny confessing he almost burned the first batch of tortillas, Selena admitting she once microwaved a burrito while it was still wrapped in foil. The conversation drifted from food to music, from childhood memories to dreams of the future. For a moment, the kitchen felt like the heart of their home, a place where everything else fell away and all that mattered was the person sitting across the table. There's a reason the Mexican pizza felt so right for this night. Its layers, each distinct, yet coming together to create something greater, mirrored the layers of Benny and Selena's relationship. They came from different worlds. Benny, the son of a Jewish family from Virginia, whose beats had shaped the sound of a generation. Selena, the Texas-born superstar with Mexican roots and a voice that could move millions. Their journeys had been marked by triumph and heartbreak, by the pressure of fame and the struggle for authenticity. But together, they created something new, a partnership built on respect, laughter, and the willingness to try. Benny thought back to their first date, the nerves, the way Selena's laughter put him at ease. He remembered late nights in the studio, road trips with the windows down, lazy Sundays spent watching old movies. He thought about the challenges they'd faced, tabloid rumors, the demands of their careers, the constant balancing act. Through it all, they'd learned the importance of communication, of forgiveness, of showing up for each other. Cooking, Benny realized, was a lot like making music. It was about experimenting, taking risks, trusting your instincts. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But when it did, it was magic. As they finished their meal, Selena thanked Benny, not just for the food, but for the effort, the intention. She told him that the best meals were always the ones made with love, that the kitchen would always be her favorite room in the house, because it was where they were most themselves. Benny grinned, basking in her praise. He knew he'd never be a professional chef, but that wasn't the point. Tonight, he'd cooked something that brought them closer, that honored Selena's culture and their shared story. That was what mattered. They stacked the dishes in the sink, promising to clean up together later. For now, they curled up on the couch, full and happy, the scent of spices lingering in the air. Outside, the city hummed. Inside, all was calm. For fans watching from afar, Benny and Selena's Mexican pizza might seem like just another celebrity anecdote, a cute Instagram post, a fleeting headline. But for them, it was a memory, a reminder that love is built in small moments, in shared meals, in the willingness to try. Their story invites us all to step into the kitchen, to cook for those we love, to embrace imperfection. Whether your creation turns out picture perfect or a little messy, what matters is the intention, the laughter, the connection. As their night drew to a close, Benny and Selena understood that the world might always be watching, but in their kitchen, it was just the two of them,